Hey everybody, I'm Matt Hill. I'm with Night Fire Solutions, and we are here in Denver, Colorado with my friends to shoot another episode of the Talking Energy Show. Introduce yourself.
Shawn Forbes with Onshore Strategy and OG Directory.
Ashleigh Ellis with Petrosight.
These two seemingly rule the Denver oil and gas community. I mean, I haven't been anywhere that everybody doesn't know you and love you, so it's a lot of fun to hang out with both of you. You guys know my speed. I like to go and hang out. I have FOMO. Obviously, I want to be at every single event.
Yeah, I get that so bad.
It's so bad. I'm here in Denver.
It's getting less and less lately.
Now, you even decided you were going to go to this party tomorrow night, so it'll be fun.
It's supposed to be 20 degrees, so I don't think people could blame me for not wanting to go to an event outside.
I rolled up into Denver and I immediately got on the interwebs, and I was like, I know how to find oil and gas events. I'm really good at it. I post them all in the Oilfield Tailgate calendar, and just go to AAD website first, and then I'll go to SPE and then KOGA, and immediately OG Directory. You put all of your events on there too now. I need to. Do you do it for nationwide? Mm-hmm. Oh, that's
trainings,
fantastic. You can just scrape data off of mine if you have anybody that wants to do data entry for you, and just put it in there.
Yeah, check yours and see if I'm missing anything. Yeah. You can do the same.
I will do that.
Mine. Yeah.
So sure enough, I'm like, man, I really want to go to this. Looks like a oil and gas party with every single advocacy group out there, and we're sitting at dinner. I'm like, Ashleigh, you know anybody that is running this? And Ashley's like,
Ashley is running the whole
event
tomorrow,
thing.
So I have all of the information.
Yeah.
What do you want to know?
This is probably not going to air by the time tomorrow night rolls around, because I got a lot of editing to do. It usually takes me a couple weeks with all the stuff I'm up to. But tell everybody about that event and why we're doing it.
Yeah, so we did it for the first time last year in 2020 as a replacement for our holiday party, because it was something that we could still do. It was outside. You could, at the zoo, socially distance yourself. And so our idea is to, throw an event where everybody in our oil and gas community can come and bring their families. Most events, like golf tournaments or koi shoots, whatever, is really... you can't bring out the kids and everything. So, we just wanted to all be together and kick off the holidays. So we got all of the...
A holiday kickoff party for oil and gas. And there's, it's every group in town is part of it. Pipeliners, AAD, SPE, KOGA.
Well, it's organized by the Rocky Mountain Pipeliners Club, and Ashley is on the team there, but every single organization in town is promoting it as well and kind of partnering on the event. But it's a Zoo Lights preview, and I've never seen the Zoo Lights myself,
I
so
hadn't
I'm excited.
either until last year, and what I've heard from people who go often, that doing it this way is way better because you're not shoulder to shoulder crowded, because their capacity is 10,000 people.
Oh, so on kind of a normal open to the public night.
Yeah, on an open to the public night, but this is just specifically for us and our oil
just
family.
Our industry family. But invite your friends and family. Everybody's welcome. But we're going to have 400,000 people there tomorrow. It's going to be absolutely crazy.
400,000.
If you haven't seen what oil and gas can do, come to Denver. These people go hard.
We have a good time.
Yeah.
We have a good time.
I imagine the proceeds from the ticket go to benefit the zoo. Or is there another charity involved?
Food Bank of the Rockies, and then also it benefits the Rocky Mountain Pipeliners Scholarship Program.
Oh, awesome.
What are you guys drinking, by the way? So every podcast that we do in studio, we always have something to enjoy. Here we go.
Cheers.
White wine for them. So tell me about this. I'm drinking Pink Whitney. I'm going to admit this right
You're
here.
You're a high school or a college girl.
Yeah, I am
college
now
girl.
a freshman college girl. They talked about this last
Canadian,
night.
One of the two.
Yeah, hey, to all the Canadian oil and gas people out there, thank you for Pink Whitney. This is like drinking lemonade, but I watered it down, like half water, half ice, and about
hydrating while you're.
You have to hydrate. Every day
balance.
in Colorado, I've been jogging and I'm like dying. It's like you have to suck down water every second or everything dries out. You become a raisin here. So you guys all pretty and flush and like look like you are hydrated. Good job. Moisturizer and lots of water.
And water.
I always forget about that because I've always lived here, so I forget it's a.
I look like beef jerky up here like 2 days later.
Alligator skin.
That's funny. Thank God for petroleum, because that helps with moisturizer.
Ooh, I always put petroleum jelly Vaseline on my lips at night when I'm having dry lip situations. That helps a lot.
I like to put petroleum jelly all over my body and just slide around in my
I would like to see a video of that.
I'm not going to take a video of that. That camera stays in the box as long as I have the podcast going. It comes out. Hey, I want to know, how did you get into oil and gas? Tell me your story, Ashleigh. Come on.
Well, I'm third generation oil and gas. My grandfather started a company called Pioneer Pipe in 1974. And he worked there and worked in the pipe industry until he retired. He was like 80 when he retired. And then my dad went to work for him at Pioneer as well. And then ended up becoming their VP of commercial. And then in 2008, I moved to Denver from Fort Collins and got a job with Pioneer as well. And I worked with him there for 7.5 years. And then he started a new company called Mammoth Carbon Products, and I worked there with him for another 5.5, and then I started with Petrosight just in August of this year. So kind of just you've been an oil and
gas kid, generational oil and gas.
It's in my blood.
Did you ever growing up feel like a stigma involved in that at all, or you never saw it really until recently with all the politics here?
Yeah, I mean, Colorado until.
It's always been in my head, Wild West, everybody's, a cowboy and everybody loves oil and gas, farming, ranching, baby Jesus, America guns.
Yeah. When I was growing up here, it was not like it is now as far as the politics go. It was a lot more conservative, and it still is in Grand Junction where I'm from. But all of Colorado used to be a pretty oil and gas friendly state.
I think it will be again. I mean, we do shows like this to educate. I think most of the time people oppose us are just, a little bit energy illiterate, and we can do our best to hey, look, work on alternatives. Sure, that's fine. For the foreseeable future, this is the luckily, blessedly, we have this energy.
Yeah, all energy I think is important. It just has to make sense and be economical,
efficient. Shawn,
yes,
thank you for doing this with me today. Appreciate it. Team Forbes.
Anytime.
Team Forbes. I'm trying to beat Ashleigh at the Team Forbes website.
He's not going to win.
Posts of my picture. So I'm doing a video. I'm hours of Team Forbes in my hand.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah, tell me all about Team Forbes, OG Directory, maybe, your new company that I can promote.
Yeah, so teamforbes.com is my blog that's called Hello Sales Tips from Procurement. So I like to give salespeople advice on maybe what not to do, if they're struggling connecting with their customers or striking out. I basically say, hey, these are some annoying things that salespeople are doing, but instead of just complaining about it, I actually give some constructive advice on a different approach.
But it's hilarious. I've read all of them.
So there's maybe 13 posts right now.
13 full-length articles on how to be a better salesman.
Thank you to Nightfire.
You're welcome.
For being a current sponsor of the Team Forbes blog.
Got my logo on there and everything.
And so we have a photo gallery of people who have Team Forbes swag. So koozies, pens, and stickers.
Great stickers.
If you have a picture of your Team Forbes swag, you send it to me and I'll add it to the gallery. And we have a lot of really cool people from our industry in some of the photos. Ashleigh has a lot of real estate on that blog. Matt's gonna try to catch up. You're a heavy hitter, man. You don't go anywhere without this little thing.
No,
played.
Nope, I sure don't.
Yeah. How many times though did you surround your pink Whitney in a Shawn Forbes koozie?
Oh, I'm sure it's happened.
Damn it.
You name it.
Yeah. I've probably poured pink Whitney into a can and then put that can inside the koozie.
Well played.
That's probably what happened.
So I may have written you one time when you were procurement, back in the day, and you were terrifying. I was really scared. I was like, man,
don't even ask Ashleigh.
It's really hard to get back, because for when I started, all my customers, I could go to their office, the engineers, and go from office, walk the floors, and then for me I think it was Chesapeake, that I've just really noticed everybody says, oh, you're gonna have to talk to procurement, and then I eventually learned hey, look, I just want to be on the list. Give me, a shot at it, and then I'll meet with them, and they'll come to you and tell you why. Hey, I'm probably not going to be the cheapest, but I'm going to be one of the best. And then they get, those three. But in my head, it's you guys were just kicking our butts on prices and driving us to the bottom. So
Well, I mean, that's not altogether false.
But that's what your job was.
I mean,
like, hey, I need to find the best.
Well, our job is to obtain the best value. So it may not always be the lowest price, but there may be other benefits associated with your total offering. So maybe you have a better safety score, or your logistics cost is better, you have newer equipment, or your field guys are more qualified, have more skill than another company's field guys. So there's a lot of different things that we weigh in making decisions on who gets an award, but of course we're always trying to get the best price. It's our job. So.
Well, and eventually it all, pans out to where, us as service providers are going to compete and get better at our, like we're going to find better, cheaper, faster ways to do the same job as, more affordable for the operators.
For sure. And I'm always willing to offer feedback to companies after the fact.
Oh, I've seen the blogs. Yes,
do a look back and, talk about lessons learned and how we can improve on both sides. It's a kind of a team effort. Procurement or operators can't do their jobs without suppliers and vice versa. So we have to figure out how to help each other be better. Always.
Yeah, you were in that space for a long time.
Yes, I was, a very long time. I did a lot of work with Shawn. And yeah, she is scary.
Like, I got to go in front of the boss again today and try to get a quote in that works, and I'm going to get the work.
Yeah, and
you can just hand her an envelope, get shit done.
Sometimes things don't go as planned, but we got through it. It was okay.
Yeah,
I mean, your friends right now,
figure it out.
Working together every day almost, seems like.
Yeah, I know.
Well,
I talked to Shawn
I mean, we have a mutual respect for each other and our jobs.
That's our industry in general, I think. I mean, I know that, there's always stories about one or two people out there that, maybe muddy the waters on how we operate, but I think for the most part, our industry just has amazing people.
Yeah.
That's why I keep doing this. I can't wait to meet the next person in my life.
My Uber driver this morning.
She could not wait to meet that Uber driver.
He said the same thing actually about oil and gas, because he asked what I did, and he did it. He was in the industry a long time ago, and he was like, man, that was my favorite job I ever had. All the people were just so fun, and you had friends everywhere, and he's like, I really miss that, but it's true.
Oh, it's true. What are you doing now, Shawn? How did you go from procurement at the operator, and where did you go next?
So for years, I've wanted to create a very user-friendly oil and gas directory for suppliers.
For yourself, really, at the time. You needed one.
Yeah, it was kind of a selfish project for me to create this directory, because there were other ones out there that kind of made me pay to be able to search and find companies to do business with, and half the time those companies weren't even in business anymore. So I wanted to create just an online version of a directory so that companies can control their information and keep it up to date. So if things change, they can log in real quick and make a change, and it's live, and all I have to do is search a couple keywords and they pop up, and I reach out to them. And so I like to call it kind of my online bid list, so to speak, because I can look up tanks and all the tank vendors pop up, or any kind of oil field service. So I created ogdirectory.com for that purpose.
It's running strong right now. It's more and more every day. People are putting their stuff on there.
It's incredible. And
how many vendors do you have on there now?
I think I have about 500
That's awesome.
companies on there now, but there are thousands, and I would love for every company to be in the directory.
It sure does beat, and I've used it now too. It beats going to Google and trying to go through hundreds and hundreds of pages. I don't even know if it's
a ton of time
in the state. I don't know if it's in, it just, you get to filter those results so fast.
Yeah, filter it by keyword, category, location, and you can filter all three of those things at once.
OG Directory.
OGdirectory.com. So it's kind of a procurement tool, I like to say.
It's a helping tool. I mean, I'm fortunate. I have a lot of people I know, and if I don't have it, I'm going to go to work trying to find it for somebody else. Doesn't matter if I'm going to get anything off of it. I just want to help my buddy out at a well site that can't leave, and so I've used yours directory a couple times now.
Yeah, someone sent me a text this morning actually saying, hey, can you recommend any logistics companies? Ta-da. And I said, search the directory. That's where you're going to find it. That's where I'm going to look. First and foremost, I'm going to look at the directory for, if I'm looking for companies to bid out anything. First, I'm going to look at the directory.
Is Petrosight on there yet?
Yep.
I knew that. I already saw.
Yeah. Yes, we are.
Your company is fairly new, but it really it is arguably a game changer for a lot of people.
Yeah, well, we've been around for about 10 years. but we're new in the U.S., so we're a Calgary-based company, and just started in the U.S. about 2 years right before COVID happened, so that kind of killed all of the progress we made. But yeah, Lauren, my coworker, she did a great job kind of trying to get things going when you couldn't see anybody.
We love you, Lauren. I wish you were here.
Yes,
Lauren Liebelson.
I wish you were here. And then I've known Christian, our president, for a couple years now, and yeah, joined on with them, and it's been crazy and busy and fun, but yeah, it's a really helpful, useful tool.
Elevator pitch about what all it does, because it's for me it's pretty technical, but
yeah, it's technical for me too. So I don't come from an engineering background, but or an upstream background, but basic reporting software, so it keeps track of your daily operations and your vendors, your contractors who you're using out on site. All your costs are in there, so you can kind of keep track of how much money you spent every day. And then my focus is more on the pipeline facilities side of it.
Sure.
So that was, we saw kind of a hole in the market there. Not a lot of people have a software that they use like
every
this.
one of us all of our companies, we've used spreadsheets. That's it. That's what we've all used. We
Right,
just made Excel work for us in any capacity.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. So
I like to say that your software is kind of an easier version of WellView, WellSite.
Yeah.
It's way cheaper. Not to say that the value is not there, because
Right.
it certainly is, but
it also pulls in,
it's
it pulls in other software, and
Yep, it can integrate with other softwares and, spit out really useful reports and information. And it's been a lot of fun learning about it, and definitely a change of pace from selling steel to software. But
yeah,
it's been fun, and I learned something new and cool about it. I mean, I'm still all the time.
I mean, again, though, every single operator out there and every midstream now is your possible customer.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the same for you.
Yep.
Because your new company,
Yes.
what's the name of that?
Onshore Strategies.
Onshore Strategies.
Yes.
Sharp. I like it a lot.
Thank you. So I started an oil and gas supply chain consulting firm, basically procurement contract work.
It's wizardry. I mean, I don't know how many companies are out there that would ever be able to afford procurement whenever it's time to go and do any operations.
Yeah, the beauty of what I do is that have a team of people also that have different skill sets in procurement, materials management. If you need an OCTG material manager, if you want someone to come in and manage your fleet or your inventory, we can bring people in with specialized skills.
Yep.
To just come in and knock out a couple scopes of work and then leave, and then we're here when you need us. So we're pretty flexible. We can do short-term projects, long-term projects, a variety of things procurement related. So our focus is to create efficiencies, save money, manage company spend, and mitigate risk. So we can do things like manage contracts, do vendor onboarding if you need to implement an MSA program. We can do project procurement if you need to build a pipeline or a compressor station, gas plant, anything on the midstream side, or if you need help bidding out your drilling program or completions work or your LOE, which is your production expenses. We can bid out all of those major spend categories and save you some money.
Yeah, and I mean, we all know a lot of procurement people across the U.S. have been laid off, past year. Mm-hmm. So here's an opportunity for you to, go help all those companies. Say, hey, look, I know you don't have procurement now. You toss that back on to the engineers and superintendents, but how's that working out?
Yeah.
You're going to do a better job.
Yeah, and I think companies now are outsourcing a lot more of their work these days.
Absolutely.
So, if they don't have the option to hire a full-time employee, we can come in on a contract basis and help out. So.
Is my lips and tongue supposed to be numb by drinking Pink Whitney?
Yeah.
Canada. I was like, I have a funny taste in my mouth.
Oh, Canada.
Oh, Canada. Yeah. Shawn made a help whistle.
An emergency
whistle for Onshore Strategies.
Yeah. So if you would like one, reach out to me and we'll get you one.
Put your
you never know when.
Put your logo on a OG directory, and there we go.
Right.
Yeah.
Are you going to be able to tie OG directory to your new company?
Well, if I'm doing procurement work for a company and I need to bid something out,
Just go through there.
Go through my directory.
Do you think you'll
find
be able to
companies.
put that bidding process through OG directory someday? Like if I get on there, can I look at all the bids possible for fire specialists, fire suppression units?
That's a secret project.
There we go.
Can't really talk about that right now.
Okay.
But
I just like to bring stuff up.
yes, OG directory at one point could be a bid opportunity.
Yeah. Now is a good time to get in and sponsor is what I'm saying.
Yeah, while the price is low.
While the price is low. Be a founder.
Price is right. Yeah. Get in on the ground floor.
It's funny too. You have like just met and like friend level and like
well, that's
best
the sponsorship
friends.
on the blog.
Oh, that's the blog. You have so many ways to sponsor you. OG directory, Team Ford's blog.
Yeah, we'll check out onshorestrategies.com.
I'm a
learn
sponsor of both because it's worth it.
Yeah.
You get a lot of.
I'm excited about Onshore Specialties. I have the flyer saved on my desktop.
Yes. Me too.
Man,
I love my
your
job.
career.
I love what I do. I love helping companies, save money and create processes and add value. There's really so much to be done. There's so much low-hanging fruit that I don't think companies are even aware of. Like, they just don't see the value.
What are some of the things that you've seen that they really just didn't know they needed procurement? I don't know.
Just on maybe their major spend categories. It's maybe not even just bidding out work, but just talking to your current suppliers and looking at market rates and negotiating better prices or just better terms with your current providers. Companies can set up early payment discount programs, which not only gives the producer a discount on their invoices, but gets suppliers paid a lot faster, which some of these companies are small mom and pop companies and they can't afford to carry payroll for their employees. So they really value the early payment discount program. So
yeah, that way you're not stretching out my payment for 160 days or something.
Right.
Where's our money?
Right. It's nice to be paid in 10 days.
Yeah. It's sad that I have to give a discount for that, but if that's what it takes, let's do it.
Right.
Funny.
Yeah.
And plus, like you said, we were talking earlier, you're going to keep it honest. There's
ethical sourcing is what I'm all about.
Because by all means, as a salesman, I'm gonna do everything I can to make it to where that guy's gonna call me no matter what.
Yeah.
Right? That price doesn't matter. And by all means, I'm gonna make sure that my prices are good for my friends. That's where that relationship. And I've had these arguments with back and forth with people like, do I really need procurement because they ought to know that I'm gonna give them the best price because they're my friends? But then there's also that gray area out there where. But if I was shady, we could split commission on it. There's just like 50 ways.
But then there's always this underlying sense of dishonesty.
Yeah, I don't want their bosses to ever think
it's not sustainable. It just won't last. It might work with one guy, but
you end up with a bad reputation.
Yeah, you get a bad reputation, and nobody wants that.
No, I can't ever afford that. I would never do that.
Yeah.
Or risk one of my friends, being in that situation either.
Yeah, it's okay to bring donuts.
No,
Chick-fil-A, chicken minis.
I might be one of the best donut salesmen
because then
out
it's
there.
like you're creating a medium for a conversation by, showing up and bringing a
chicken crack donuts.
Oh, in Texas, they do those breakfast tacos.
Oh
man.
Those
are good.
I've taken bags full of breakfast tacos out to rig sites before too. Those guys
appreciate it so much.
Yeah, they're the ones
Nobody
out there.
Cares about the field guys ever, so they love it.
All the stuff we do. You've probably been I've been a hand before, but they're still crushing it out there and making all the stuff that we do. Like, okay, we're wusses. They're out there they're out there right now, not too far away, and working. Yeah. There's a beautiful.
We get tornadoes that direction, or actually that direction.
Oh, you're basically Oklahomans. I would say up
until
until
the one in Kingsburg.
That one day.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was scary. I was like,
all the trucks out there got pelted and destroyed.
Wow. I would almost give it. You guys are technically almost Oklahomans until you hit that mountain range right there. It's just about as flat right here, all the way to my town. So
the planes start right here.
Right here, and it goes all the way. So I'll adopt you guys. That's why I come up here.
Thank you.
Yeah. You guys are family.
Oklahomans.
Yeah, can I just call it like if I could just divide this and like make you
or just
Oklahoma North? What are you going to do with this software? Where is this going to go? And where's Petrosight? What all you guys have in the works? So you guys are going to be able to really get it out there to everybody.
I mean, we are definitely have a ton of opportunity to sell to a lot of different people. So we're just, I don't really know if I have a great answer for that.
I don't know. You've had some pretty big wins lately. So
You've had some big wins.
We're out all the
gaining
time.
Momentum.
How many customers do you have right now?
About 100.
Man, that's good.
Yeah.
That's really good for a software company to get 100. And it's a subscription, right?
Yeah, it's a pay-as-you-go program. So if you're have things going on, if you have operations happening, then you pay a daily rate for it. If you're not using it, then you don't pay for it.
Super affordable daily rate. Man, that's really different.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool. It's a cool structure for sure, because it gives people a peace of mind that they're not going to invest up front in a
it's not like $25,000, $50,000 a year. Here's the money, and then we may or may not use this every now and then.
Something happens and you get shut down, and then it's just wasted money. So it's a cool setup.
You know your market. You filled a need. So we had a technical difficulty. Of course, it's always me. So once again, the high altitude has scrambled my brain.
No, it's because I'm in here. I sell software, but everything around me breaks all the time. That's how easy our software is.
The software works no matter what, even if you're in Ashleigh.
I'm using it.
All right. Well, just in case. So how do they get a hold of you, Ashleigh?
So you can visit our website at petrosight.ca, petrosight.ca, or my phone number is 303-489-3006, or just come to Denver and visit me.
Or she'll come to you.
Or I'll come to you.
And get a good view of the backdrop here in Denver, Colorado. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful mountains, sunsets. Shawn, how do they get a hold of you?
Shawn, SHAWN, at onshorestrategies.com, or 720-289-2451, or Shawn at teamforbes.com, or Shawn at ogdirectory.com.
And again,
I have a few more.
I'm going to say this one more time. It should be Shawn at shawn.com. Because, and like you said, no one even knew they were talking to you because you had sent them to the wrong website.
Well, if you go to shawnforbes.com, it's a very cool author, not me. So I like to throw people off track sometimes.
That's smart.
Keep them on their toes.
Well, we're going to go to the Zoo Lights tomorrow because of Ashleigh and getting this together. I'm very proud of you, by the way. It takes a lot. We all know this. It takes a whole lot of really just the grind.
I've been working on this for at least 5 months.
Yeah, the zoo is awesome though. They're pretty much doing most of it. So
except for cooking.
I got
no cooking to animals.
My host.
I mean, coordinating organizations and talking about organization discounts and it's a lot of work. So
thank you for Onshore Solutions and
Onshore Strategies.
Onshore Man, this Pink Whitney. Onshore Strategies. My mouth is numb now. Onshore Strategies, OG Directory, and teamforbes.com, and Petrosight. I tag them. I'll tag them all in all of this
in
too.
Everything.
I tell you, I'm constantly tagging them. I've only had one person ever tell me, "Please stop tagging us."
I will never say that.
Grouchy. He needs some Pink Whitney.
Yeah, Pink Whitney. Yeah, go Canada.
Well,
for all that watch, thank you. Please support these amazing people that are here in Denver, working really hard to bring you affordable, reliable, abundant energy, and educating everyone around them as to why that's a very, very good endeavor. And again, DRW. If we missed that, by the way, DRW, we talked a long time about.
We're endorsing your candidacy for governor here in Colorado.
We're going to write you into everything. That's it. We're going to let Ashleigh out of here so she can go and fix the software. People are needing her. That's it. All right. So just in case, we just let Ashleigh go because she's going to fix the
zoo lights registration.
Yeah. So people can get over there tomorrow and have a great time. But again, Shawn, I wanted to make sure that we went over what you do at Onshore Strategies.
Yes. So
Procurement.
Yeah, so Onshore Strategies is an oil and gas focused supply chain consulting firm, and it's basically contract procurement services for companies who would love the flexibility of someone to come in and just knock out a couple of scopes of work, without the burden of having to hire a full-time employee. So we can do a variety of things from bidding out your major spend categories, or just renegotiating them to make sure you're getting the current market competitive rates. capital project procurement, pipelines, gas plants, compressor stations. We can do vendor management, vendor onboarding, fleet management, inventory management. If you want someone to come in and manage your OCTG program, from buying it, storing it, shipping it from well to well, and handling material transfers, we can do that for you. There's a whole lot of things that we can do. Check out the website, onshorestrategies.com. It'll give you a whole gamut of services that we can provide for companies.
That's a lot. I mean, and we talked about this. There's so many operators out there that are going to do projects and they don't have procurement. And we've argued back and forth. Do they even need procurement? Can the guys here do it? And they're going to get a better value.
Yeah, they will, because engineers should focus on engineering, and then you have folks like me who handle terms negotiations and freight terms. We're looking at the total cost of everything, and it adds up. And I feel like there are a lot of things that could be missed when you just get rates from companies and don't look at the total cost of ownership.
Yeah, just like you said, if you negotiate, a quick pay.
Yes, early payment discounts are a very simple way for companies to negotiate discounts. You pay your invoices early, you take off a couple %, and the companies that you're doing business with get paid faster. Sometimes they're small mom and pop companies and they can't afford to carry payroll for their people, so they really appreciate getting paid faster. So it's kind of a win-win for everyone.
I would say probably the majority of oil and gas companies don't have a procurement department. I mean, the majors do, I'm sure. But
the majors do, but I feel like they could always supplement their team too. So if there are certain things.
You've worked with major, you know what to do.
Yeah, I've worked for upstream, midstream, downstream companies, engineering firms, and I even worked for a supplier company. So if there's you have an existing team, but there's certain things that they just can't tackle because they don't have the bandwidth, then we can supplement your procurement team, or we can come in as a standalone. Do any type of short-term project, long-term project, in-house or remote. It doesn't matter. We can.
Are you going to stay in the oil and gas space, or do you see this growing outside of oil and gas?
I mean, I feel like procurement fundamentals are pretty basic.
Yeah.
I've worked in manufacturing and electronics, but oil and gas is my passion, and I feel like I really thrive in this industry, and it's just, I love it. So my company is oil and gas focused.
You can, luckily for you, as a nimble and quick company, you can hire those people in and let them, do something if they, if there's somebody out there that does want to do, other than oil and gas.
Oh, for sure. I mean, we can help even oil field services companies streamline their procurement process.
That's what I'm hoping for. Night Fire is going to get really big, and we're going to need some procurement, because he is going to put that on my shoulders otherwise. And I like business development. Yeah,
and sometimes you need, just a few little tips and processes on how to streamline things. So happy to help.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you being here with me today, and this is our show, the Talking Energy Show. I want you to make sure to reach out to Shawn and support the OG Directory, genius idea. Don't go to Google, go to OG Directory if you need services or equipment.
Yep.
There's 500 people on there now, approximately, and growing every day. My companies are on there. And go to Team Forbes, read her blog. If you're in sales, if you're getting started in sales, or if you've been a seasoned veteran like myself, you can always learn a lot from somebody that expects you to come in and do your job well.
Yeah, learn perspective from the other side of the fence.
Even what golf clothes to wear.
Yes,
that's hilarious.
Dress codes on golf courses. Please adhere to them.
I just like that you just line out everybody in our industry. Like, no, listen, here's how you need to do it.
Yeah, well, there's just certain things I think people are unaware of, and I like awareness.
Yeah, I need hey, by all means, I need notes. I need people to constantly give me updates on how I'm doing in this industry. So.
Yeah, and the blog posts aren't very long, but they're just kind of address an issue and then give you a different approach to things. So they're definitely worthwhile to read, and appreciate Night Fire for being a sponsor of TeamForbes.com blog.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep that up. As long as you post something pretty frequently, I'll keep up the sponsorship. That's fair.
Yeah. I have one that I'm going to post here this week, actually.
That's good. What's it about? Can we get a
little teaser?
Yeah, I mean, actually, everybody that you can talk about it, because I'm not going to get this edited in time, so it'll already be out.
Yeah, it's going to be. I'm trying to think of an interesting name for the blog post.
Your names are getting out. All the names I've seen lately. Peekaboo, it's my post.
Peekaboo. It's something along the lines of just reply or just respond. There are so many people in our industry that don't respond to things, and I think it's kind of prohibitive of progress or just closure. If there's a salesperson that's constantly reaching out to you and you just completely ignore them for one reason or another, maybe it's
let
because...
them know the reason.
Yeah, just say, hey, that's not something I buy, or...
Your donuts you delivered last week, Matt, were horrible, and I'll never, ever use you.
Right. We don't like fruit. We want bagels.
I want chicken crack. I want Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, but it's basically just be courteous and professional and respond to people and let them know what you're thinking. You could just say, hey, go away, stop emailing me, and at least they know where they stand and they can report back to their companies, because everyone has a reporting structure and a hierarchy, and everyone has a job to do. And as a salesperson, their job is to reach out to you and engage and hopefully try to get a bid opportunity. And if you're just not responding and their company continues to ask them, how is that connection going? And it's like, well, they're not responding, but it's his job to get a response from you one way or the other. One way or the other.
So as a business development person, I'm reaching out to them. What is something I can do better to get a response, though?
Maybe prompt that response. Just say, hey, if this is not a good time, please let me know, and I'll reach back out in 3 months or whenever you think is an appropriate amount of time. Or if this is not something that you buy, please point me to the right person.
I have a friend, Lacey Wright. She was really good about getting back to me, even though she could not use my services at the time. But she's like, hey, keep in touch, and please hit me up about these services 3 months from now.
Right.
Perfect. No problem.
Yeah. One thing I do recommend to salespeople if they're communicating via email is to send an email with bullet points. And that's another blog post if you want to just bullet points.
I want to go through all your blog posts.
Yeah, bullet points are your friend is another blog post, but it talks about, hey, just bullet point all of your services. And if you sell equipment, bullet ties every single different type of equipment that you sell, because I'm going to save that email in a vendor folder, and I search my emails for keywords. So if I'm looking for a separator and I type in separator and your email pops up because you typed that into your email, then now you'll be a candidate for me to reach out to with a possible opportunity. So always, and don't attach flyers, even though that's an easy thing to do, is just to attach a brochure,
and
which is fine. Do that. But also just bulletize everything that you do. So you can just say, hey, hey, if this is not a good time, here's all the things that we do. Let me know if you need something. I'll be here.
I like procurement now. It took me a long time to figure it out, and why you guys were there. Why are they the gatekeepers now? I don't really have time to kiss one more butt.
Well, there's a lot of things
I don't have enough chicken nuggets to bring to everybody in this building. But now I'm gonna go eat more chicken nuggets. Now I'm so passionate about our industry and all the people. I'm thank God you're here. My friends are going to do better engineering jobs now because you guys are taking care of the little minutiae.
We're support to engineering in the field, and there are skills that we have, knowing freight terms and how, where the liability lies if something gets damaged in transit. Who's responsible for that? Who pays freight? Who, if you have to manage the loadout at the origin. There's just a lot of things that procurement people can negotiate in contracts that
it has to go back somewhere, and who's responsible
warranties.
For that?
We really look at warranties. We look at payment terms. We kind of look at a lot of things that people don't realize until it's too late. Oh man, I wish I would have been a procurement person.
What's the most money you ever saved, your company, just by bidding stuff out?
My last company in 6 months, I think it was somewhere near $12 million.
You saved them $12 million. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a staggering amount of money.
Yeah.
And all you did was just bid out all their current services and equipment.
It was a few major categories and then just a variety of smaller things. Like I sold some equipment and recovered some capital. So there's a lot of, oops.
They're calling us and telling us to come and eat. It's time for dinner.
Yeah, there's a whole variety of ways to, save money and create efficiencies. Like I saved a couple $100,000 on a forklift purchase because we were renting a forklift. And I decided to just buy one. So.
Well, there's no other fire suppression units out there, so if anybody asks, it's just us.
Okay.
Okay. There you go. No need to look.
Okay.
Ever. Ha. I'm going to let you go and tell everybody to continue to support you once again. What's your favorite restaurant in Denver? I'm gonna
Garden
go eat
Grace.
Garden Grace.
It's hard to get in though.
I've been there. I went
Have
with I went with Steve Henning once. It was fantastic.
We love Steve Henning.
We love Steve Henning. If he's listening,
He's my best friend.
He's well. Is he? Dang it! We just had this argument. I thought that me sponsoring was going to get me up in the ranks, but that's fine. Steve, you heard it here last. That's the last time you're going to ever hear that. You're not going to be your best friend.
On
On record. On paper, she wrote me a note, said not really. So there you go. All right. Goodbye, everybody. Take care. God bless.
Bye.
See you next time. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. That's it. That's pretty good. I'm going to use this as outtakes for the end of it.
The bloopers.
I've been a little hermit lately.